All right. So once again, I'm back live. Probably have an extensive panel tonight. Bishop Scott got a couple other people coming on. Could be interesting. I think that I'm not getting past point of no return with a lot of things, but it's interesting nevertheless. It's a fun time to be alive, wouldn't you say? Hold on one second. All right. What's going on, brother?
Good evening, Bernard. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing I'm doing fine.
Great, great, great. I enjoyed our discussion, our provocative discussion over the phone just a few minutes ago, not long ago, anyhow. And I'm glad we're coming on to speak about some things that I think we need to speak about in the year 2023 as we end this year. We're at the last month right now, and it's good to take a recap on what has happened and anticipate what's going to happen in the year 2023.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I was texting their ass.
Oh, huh?
All right. So that's that. All right. So I had to figure out a way to do this in a different type of way. See, I'm gonna start doing this a little bit different. Well, I do it off a live feed. The mafia, they like to come after me.
Yeah.
They
Not
like to
the
come
first time.
after me. Yeah, they like to come after me and things like that. So I'm gonna do it a little different. I'm gonna do it off the phone.
Oh, okay.
And
Let's
that way I can have a better control of, what, when to pause, when not, I can do it here. But all this raised talk of so-called hate speech lately. And hearing about the word hate speech, hate. I'm like, hate speech means you're threatening somebody, don't you think?
hmm That's what I think. Yeah.
We're not threatening anybody. Not called for one act of violence. But let me let you hear this. He's been
While you're doing that, can I just add this?
yeah, go ahead, because
I want to add this an interesting quote by Joel Stein uh, from the U.S. Los Angeles Times. This is what he says, and I think it's worth thinking about, and how our Jewish brothers and sisters consider things. He said this back in 2008. I don't care if Americans think we're running the news media, Hollywood, Wall Street, or the government. I just care that we get to keep running them. Hey, I like that. I don't care what Americans think, whether they like it that we run Wall Street, the government, Hollywood, news media. I just care that we keep on running them.
you got a little static behind you.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me better this way?
Speak again.
Hey, how you doing? Can you still
Yeah,
hear?
I can still hear it, but I ain't gonna worry about it too much right now. Hold
Okay,
on.
let me turn. Maybe I turn it down. How is it now? Better? Is it a little better now?
It's still the same, but I'm gonna play this clip for you because I want you to hear this.
Okay.
I'm looking through my other phone to find out this clip. Hold on a minute. What is it? Video. Oh, here it is. Sad. Oh, here it is. You hear it?
It is hard to know where to start when it comes
Yep.
that was had today about loving Hitler and Nazis. The artist, formerly known as Kanye West, was so shockingly anti-Semitic. Our next guest says even Alex Jones, the Sandy Hook denier, squirmed. We welcome back NBC News senior reporter Ben Collins. He covers disinformation and extremism on the internet, and Jonathan Greenblatt, who unfortunately has been working overtime for the last year, CEO and national director.
Hold on. Under the Copyright Act of 1996, this is for information for teaching, news reporting that otherwise might be infringing. For education purpose only. I had to make sure I got this thing down, Bishop, because you know how they start to get.
Yeah, write that down.
Director of the Anti-Defamation League. His book is "It Could Happen Here: Why America is Tipping from Hate to the Unthinkable and How We Can Stop It." Ben, this interview is undeniably vile. Like, you think you couldn't have heard worse things from Alex Jones, and then there was this, that even he had to tell Kanye to dial it back. What shocked you the most after listening to it all?
I mean, just overtly saying the words "I like Hitler," Hitler did some good things. Those are relatively verboten even on InfoWars, even on Alex Jones' show. But, we have reached that breaking point here. Alex Jones even stepped in and said, I don't have anything against Jewish people. I like most Jewish people are good people and all this stuff. He had to step in and qualify statements from one of his guests on InfoWars. Think about that for a second. This was a deeply hateful interview with every. This isn't dog whistling. Every trope that the Nazis pushed about Jewish people in the 20s, 30s. That's where this is at. This was a straight up overt Nazism pushed by Kanye West and very gently pushed back upon from Alex Jones.
I'm afraid to even ask you this question. How's the far right reacting to this, Ben?
So some people are against this. They realize it's a red line for a lot of people. For a lot of people, Donald Trump is still an electoral project. And for those people, they realize that they have to get away from this guy, and he's clearly nuclear. This is not a thing you have to align with. But there are obviously parts of 4chan that are very excited about this, saying, he finally did it. He finally brought our talking points without the dog whistles, without alluding to something. He brought them to the forefront. So things we've been saying on the internet, on these anti-Semitic and white supremacist Nazi forums for years. This is coming out of a guy with Grammy's mouths. This is coming out of the mouth of a guy who has millions of Twitter followers, who has aligned himself with the GOP overtly. He says he's running for president. So it's a very scary day. And Steph, I really want to say this very quickly. If we don't step up here, this is a problem. Like, this is, if Donald Trump doesn't get this guy away from him, it's going to be a very rough few years here. This is literally Nazism coming out of the mouths of one of the biggest celebrities in the United States.
Jonathan, throughout your whole life, did you ever think you would be sitting here right now and having a conversation about a major celebrity publicly saying, "I like Hitler"?
I mean, Stephanie, to be perfectly honest with you, we've been warning at ADL about the normalization of anti-Semitism for a long time. I've talked with you about it on your show, I think as recently as last week. Well, this is what it looks like. As you said, one of the most popular entertainers in the world telling us that Hitler did some good things. And then, by the way, a few hours later, tweeting out a swastika inside a Jewish star. So Jewish people, if they feel alarmed, it's because they are correct. we are seeing something so destructive, so dangerous. This is the scariest it's been, I think, in memory. And when you have people like Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, the most public anti-Semites in a generation, having an audience, and then again, Twitter openly as a platform, allowing them to amplify their intolerance. I mean, in InfoWars, as Ben was saying, this is not exactly 60 Minutes. I mean, this is the place where Pizzagate, this is the place where Sandy Hook, this is the place where 9/11 conspiracies run amok. And yet now, as Ben was saying, what Kanye is doing there is a bridge too far for Alex Jones, who's a long way from, like, Dan Rather or Morley Safer or those icons of journalism. So I am worried. Jewish people are worried. These comments aren't just offensive, okay, Stephanie? They are dangerous. They can lead to real world violence. That's where we are right now.
Jonathan, I saw something crazy. A recent survey found that 1 in 10 respondents don't recall ever even hearing the word Holocaust. How can that even be?
Look, I mean, I think we do need to acknowledge the fact that many Americans probably couldn't name who our vice president is, don't know how many amendments to our Constitution. But, look, the Holocaust is an ancient history. My grandfather was a Holocaust survivor. Jews being persecuted is an ancient history. My wife came to this country as a political refugee. And so when Kanye, and let me just point out something else. No one should be giving Kanye a pass or an excuse saying it's Kanye being Kanye, it's mental illness. Mental illness is not an excuse for anti-Semitism. And the anti-Jewish hate coming at us from all sides, from entertainers, from athletes, from comedians, from entrepreneurs, again, from the former president. I mean, it is beyond alarming. And so I think, again, all of us are just deeply terrified in this moment.
We certainly are. This is a time when we have to step up and stop it. Ben Collins, thank you so much for your reporting. Jonathan Greenblatt, thank you so much for your work.
That's so much nonsense. What do you think about that, Bishop?
I think it's crazy. Just to think that the world is coming to an end because Kanye said something about Hitler and the Jews. I mean, the way they exaggerate things, the way they just want to get people on the outs with him in such an aggressive way. I mean, to make this one man responsible for...
Well, 3 men, really. 3 men. Because you got Trump and you got the other guy.
Oh, yeah, Nick Fuentes. Yeah. But just, just the way she's talking about this has never been to this degree in the history of mankind about. I mean, the way you're just making it seem like the world's on the edge of extinction because this one man or 2 men or 3 men or 10 men or 100 men said something that you didn't like and that was offensive. I'm not anti-Semitic in any way.
You don't say something that's hypocritical.
Exactly. It really is. It's overblowing the whole thing to me.
But let me say something hypocritical. Now, check this out. Mm-hmm. Alex Jones, right?
Yeah.
Has like 3-some million subscribers, probably more, right?
Yeah, he's very proud of it.
But Alex Jones, more people probably watch Alex Jones than they watch these networks. But here's the deal. Guess what? Y'all on TV. Alex Jones is not, right?
Right.
So, all you're doing is getting more people. A smart man would say, well, let me go watch the interview with Alex Jones and Ye then. Let me go see what happened by himself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all you're doing is drawing other people in. So while you hating on Ye, right?
Right.
And Nick Fuentes or whatever, you're giving them a chance to go watch a 2 hours and 50-minute video. So you're actually drawing it to them. So if they were smart, they would have kept their mouth shut.
And let it go on.
Because now that would give me the chance to go watch the interview, learn what he really said, and analyze and say, okay, he said it, but there's a missing context here. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a missing context.
But the liberal media always likes to take 5 minutes, Now, this is 5 minutes out of a 2-hour interview, okay? 5 minutes. That's all this was. Your clip was no more than about 6 or 7 minutes. Add a couple more minutes. Maybe you didn't do it all. It still was not near about 2 hours long, what they did. But what they do is they take the little 5-minute clip and they harp on it and they beat it and they beat it. They beat the drum. They beat the drum. They beat the drum. And just like you say, what it will do for me and others who are of the enlightening mindset, it'll make me, now I will go and watch that 2-hour clip because I heard the 5 minutes. Now I want to hear the hour and 5 minutes or 2 hours or 2 hours and a half or whatever extra minutes that they did not cover at all. And to look at the context of what he said and see what is fact, what is fancy, what I agree with, what I don't agree with.
All right, let me say something here.
You go ahead.
Barack Obama has condemned vile anti-Semitic conspiracy theories promoted by Kanye West, Kyrie Irving. So, yeah, he said we have to call out and put an end to that kind of mindset. But unfortunately, it seems that this kind of poison gets more and more attention. Now, this is dangerous what he's saying here. All right? Because you said we had to call and put an end to that kind of mindset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, to me, this sounds like some ethnic cleansing stuff going on here. All right?
Okay.
So you gotta be careful when they talk in that kind of language.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want you to think different than what they think. That's the problem.
Right. That's the problem. And Obama has some nerve. Obama has some nerve, to be honest with you. During his time, and someone mentioned it, and I've mentioned it many times, during his term in office, this first quote unquote black president, there was when did I'm going to ask the question to the audience and to you. When was Michael Brown killed? Whose administration was that in? When Eric Gardner was killed? Sandra Bland was killed. All these people, many, many hundreds of black folks that were killed during his administration. And you've heard some the 9 people that were killed in the church there in South Carolina at a Bible study because of the hatred of one man toward black folk. And yeah, they talked a little bit about it, but there's not the same intensity. It's not the same energy when it deals with us as it deals with any other group. We've been here the longest, we've been abused the longest, we've been mistreated the longest than any other group in this country, and yet, it's never as pronounced, it's never as urgent, it's never as forceful when you talk about us as they do other people. And even when you talk about the first quote unquote, and I use that very loosely because I don't think he was a black president. I don't think we've had a black president yet. Certainly not a black president from this country, that was born and raised and all of that, nor his family was raised or anybody else. So we have yet to have a first black president. In my humble estimation, we've yet to have a first vice president of African American heritage. But irregardless of all of that, just the idea that, you of all people that did not stand up as a black American because you wanted to be the president of all America and not just black America. That's his own words. You were also the one who said blacks has no standing in law. This is the black man saying, I don't have no standing either. If you're supposed to claim to be a black man.
Matter of fact, he told you not to call him black either.
Exactly. And I can see why. Because during this time when we were almost being slaughtered, many more were killed under Obama. Of us were killed under Obama than would ever be imagined under Trump, who was noted to be the most racist president we've ever had. And yet the most respected and revered by many had more things done to black folk during his administration than any other administration in recent history. But we ignore that. We don't harp on that. He still was the first black, and that's good enough for me. No, it's not good enough for me. Just because whatever your color may be, if your interest is not my interest, and if you're not out to help me and my people improve their lives, and you let all hell breaks loose on us, and yet you defend and the issue of reparations. He had no problem with reparations for Native Americans, but he has a problem when it comes to reparations.
All right, Are you ready for something very funny here?
Go on.
You remember a guy named David Axelrod?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On January 6, 2016, he says Obama identifies with the Jewish community.
Okay, now come on.
It's right here. I'm looking at it right here. Phone. Right here.
Okay. He don't identify with black people, but he identifies with Jews. Okay.
That makes
sense.
See,
that makes sense.
So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm about to put it up on thing now. See, let's really talk about this now. See?
Mm-hmm.
Because I told you on the show, Kanye West said Obama was not a black president. Oh, he called him a Jewish president. Matter of fact, you know what? See, Bishop, when I tell you something, I always say, I'm going to go back and find the evidence for you.
Yeah, you always do.
I'm going to go back and find it for you. So let me, okay, let me find it. And this thing with Balenciaga is crazy too. I gotta find it. Here you go.
It's like he had a really cool outfit and stuff, and he was a really good architect. And so you're in love with the look of it. And he didn't kill 6 million Jews. That's just like factually incorrect. Let's get the Ronald Reagan clip they showed me yesterday. Sorry, go ahead. Ronald Reagan said that too. Well, I think Hitler did target and kill some people. So I think I think Obama killed Palestinians. No, I hear you. Here's where I think the frustration is, and Nick, you can comment on this. And Obama was not the first black president. He was another Jewish president.
Well, isn't that something?
I think it is.
Yep. Got it. Now, to his point, I'm gonna be really. Let's see when you get out of all that garbage and stuff like that, and you sit there and you listen, right?
Right.
See, a normal person say, he was a black president. I said, well, I got to open mind. Let me go look this up for a minute. Let me go see what he's talking about. Even though I don't heard this before. See, this is not new to me. I just said that. It's just that he brought it up.
Right. But most people don't know.
Then I already knew about this, right? Because that's when. But what I'm saying is, when somebody bring it up, right, they're gonna tell you what you think about it, right? And then I'm gonna say, well, wait a minute, we're gonna look at the evidence, right?
Right.
Let's not get into this game of, oh, it's not true. Well, how do you know? Are you just saying that? Or
right?
Are you just caught in your emotion back? I mean, now, me personally, I'm not going to say whether he's Jewish or not. But you know what I am going to say?
What's that?
It looked like by the record when he was in office, he did a lot for Jewish people. I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, I can tell you. I can tell you.
Tremendously.
I can tell you whether he's Jewish or not, because I can tell you the name of his Jewish brother. Biological brother, not no adopted brother, foster brother, step brother. His biological brother. His name is Mark Agaf Obama Napazachu, and he is Jewish. His brother, his biological brother. Now you can say it's a half brother, which means maybe in somehow or another, but there is some connection. I'm gonna keep on searching it out too, because I was thinking about, I was going to look on the white side whether there was any Jewishness in his mother's side, but it looked like here he is Jewish on his daddy's side. On his daddy's side, Mark Amazuka Obama doesn't sound like a Scottish name or a European
what does
name.
Say?
Did Axelrod with the Jewish community? David Axelrod Obama identified with the Jewish community. And I can understand that if my brother's Jewish, I can identify with it, whether I am or not. If I have my brother's Jewish, I would identify with, I could relate to the Jewish community, certainly. Couldn't you? If you had a Jewish brother, wouldn't you have some kind of affinity for the Jews as well. If your brother is Jewish,
I'm gonna read the conversation, right?
okay. Mm-hmm.
He was very contemplative. We called the
Mhm.
former White House senior advisor. I said, "What's on your mind?" And this was in the midst of some of these back and forths with BB. And he said, I think I'm the closest thing to a Jew that has ever sat in his office. The people who I'm close to, the people who are mentors of mine, the values of which I was raised. I feel very close to this community, and it hurts to be depicted somehow as hostile to this community. It bothers me. Yes. Because he's had something going on with Ben Netanyahu. Actually, Kanye was talking about Ben Netanyahu too, a lot in this interview. But yeah. So, I mean, don't you think this is kind of eye-opening for some people listening?
So I like what you said. Before we so quickly want to dismiss what someone says as being nonsense, we need to begin to investigate to see. Well, I just did this in 2 minutes. I found out the man's name, and it says he is his Jewish brother. It says it on the article, and it gives the man's name. He's still alive today. If anybody want to check him out, his name is Mark Okoth, Okoth, Obama Natagasa, and that's Ndesandjo, his Jewish brother of U.S. President Barack Hussein Obama. Dated from an article dated on January the 30th, 2014. It's under the Times of Israel. It's an Israeli publication. The Jews themselves recognize the Times of Israel is the publication that wrote this.
Well, let me ask a question.
It says its headline, "No, we're not a normal family. My brother is Jewish."
Now, is that hate speech?
Or is it correct? Is hate speech? Is truth now becoming hate? Is that what we're saying? That when you tell the truth, that's hate speech? Hate speech, just like you said in the beginning of the show, was an hateful, very vindictive, violent, disruptive.
Well, let me make another little thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hateful to whom? That's the question I need to ask. Hateful to who?
Well, I'll say this as a
and
preacher.
What?
I'll say this as a preacher. Truth would be hateful to Satan. Truth would be hateful to devils. Truth would be hateful to demons. They don't want the world to know the truth. Satan certainly is the father of lies.
Wait a minute. Now, go back to what you said. You just uncovered something in 2 minutes. Now, this is the funny thing that gets me.
You mentioned it, I looked it up, and then I found it.
This thing you got in your hand, I got in my hand, right?
Yeah, I got mine in my hand.
Now, it's funny that they give you I would say an instrument where you can find out truth, right?
Right.
It ain't right. It ain't right. But then they would say, "Oh, you're a conspiracy." Now, let me say something about that. One thing about it, you realize they call you most of the time a conspiracy theorist, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Kanye West and let's just use Farrakhan, Alex Jones, or whatever. All these guys, right?
Right.
Monopolist, Nick Fuentes, whatever. Anybody, just anybody, even myself.
Yeah.
They give you the name anti-Semite, conspiracy theorists, right?
Right.
You know, one thing they don't ever call these people, even Donald Trump, believe it or not. Well, sometimes they do, but not all the time. What do they not say that these people are like? They call them names, but they don't call them liars all the time because see, if you call them a liar, then we got to go back to Jupiter. I say you're a conspiracy theorist. You try to make me crazy. You don't really want to call me a liar though, because that means a lie can always be backtracked with evidence. You say I'm crazy. You say I don't have no. I'm not in my right mind.
Yeah, yeah. And it's also a legal. It's also a legal defense too, because if you call somebody a liar and I can prove what I'm saying is true, then that's scandalous and also libelous.
Yeah.
I can actually sue you because I'm telling the truth. You're saying I'm lying. So because I'm telling the truth, I can actually sue you for damages. Conspiracy is too vague. Conspiracy is like it's a broad thing. You can't pin it down. If you say I'm a liar, that's specific. I'm lying. You better be right I'm lying. Because if I can prove I'm telling the truth, I can sue you for slander. You're calling me a liar. I can sue you for slander. I can get some money off of you. Conspiracy is too broad. What does it mean to have conspiracy? Well, it means there's something more to it, but it's vague. It's nothing specific. It's vague. It's not provable definitively. It's almost like a theory. That's what they call it, conspiracy theory. But when you say I'm a liar, that's being specific. You're telling a lie. You're not being truthful. And if I can prove otherwise, I can sue your butt. So there's a legal ramification to these terminologies. Like you said, always say, watch out for the words because they're very manipulative. So instead of saying you're a liar, you're a conspiracy theorist. And the theory is, it's not based on definitive fact. It's kind of conjecture. It's someone has some truth to it and all that. You can get away with that. But call me a liar, and I can prove I'm telling the truth. I'm going to sue your butt for slander because that's what you've done. You call me a liar, I'm telling the truth, you slandered my name. So they stay away from the word lie. And it's all like you always say, you always have said this. Everything they do has a reason and a purpose for how they do it and how they talk. They're very deliberate. They have lawyers all over the place. Half of those guys in Washington are lawyers. So they know what to say in order to keep their butts clean.
But let me play something right quick.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to hear this. See, I'm holding their feet to the fire now.
Okay.
It was just a few days ago that a friend of mine, somebody breaks into his house looking for his wife, Nancy, the Speaker of the House. And thankfully, he's back home now, and we're going to let investigators do their jobs. But here's what's clear, Pittsburgh. This habit we have of demonizing political opponents, of saying crazy stuff, it creates a dangerous climate. And when you have people who are in leadership positions who promote or ignore over-the-top rhetoric, and then when there's an attack like this, they make light of it, they joke about it, then more people are going to get hurt. And more than that, we violate the basic spirit of our democracy, the spirit of who we are as Americans. And by the way, it's not just politicians, whether it's out of malice or ignorance. We've seen recently big celebrities reposting vile anti-Semitic conspiracy theories online. And you don't have to be a student of history to understand how dangerous that is and how unacceptable it is. And I don't know when we decided that we were just going to believe everything we read on the internet. Here's a tip for you. If you read or see something online that has some grand theory about how some particular group, whether it's black folks or white folks or Jews or Catholics or immigrants or gays, if you read or see something that says they're the cause of all your problems, then it's safe to say it is garbage. It is a lie. It is dangerous poison. We've got to call it out and put an end to that kind of mindset.
That's that crazy stuff I'm telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is some double talking stuff there, okay? Because if anybody demonized political opponents, he did it.
Yes, you did.
All the time. Now, they always say, speak with a forked tongue.
Mhm.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mr. Obama speaks with a forked tongue. A lot.
Mhm.
But he's smooth operator, though. Give him that. He's smooth operator.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
Smooth politicking.
But I'm gonna ask you something, and I mean it seriously, and I want you to give me a good answer for this, or at least a serious answer. Why is it that when we know the truth, that we still fall for the okie doke? What I mean by that is, he says that this group, meaning the Republicans, and everybody knows what he's talking about, not just Trump, but the Republicans as a party, because he made mention of that. There's a group that means more than one person that wants to deal. But remember the time when Nancy Pelosi, I mean not Nancy Pelosi, but Maxine Waters at the inauguration of Donald Trump said, when someone comes into a restaurant, you disrupt them, you make it so uncomfortable for them that you don't even serve them. Remember when Chuck Schumer said, the majority leader of the Senate said about a United States Supreme Court justice, and he pointed to the Supreme Court justice building, they're liars, and we're not going to take it anymore. They better beware. They better be careful. Is that called a threat? When they went to Kavanaugh's house and threatened to kill him. I mean, is that violent rhetoric? Is that, using the term of Obama, rhetoric? What kind of rhetoric is that? Is that unifying rhetoric? Is that conciliatory rhetoric? Wouldn't you not consider that hate speech? Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, Bernard. That's the Democrats doing it. They never deal with hate speech, do they? They're love and be love kind of people. But why is it that you can point a finger at the opposite side of the aisle politically, and yet not see the fingers that are pointed at you? Remember the old adage, if you point one finger at me, there's four others pointing back at you? So I can give you examples after examples after examples, and you can too, where they have spoken some horrific things, going into churches, getting naked. Even Joel Osteen's church was a very progressive preacher, going in his church on Easter, stripping their clothes off, showing their breasts in protest and in favor of abortion, in protest of pro-abortionists. And Joel Osteen, which is crazy, because Joel Osteen and his congregation are certainly not pro-abortion. I mean, pro-life. They're not pro-life at all. And yet you go even to their churches and disrupt that church, because why? Because they got 35,000 members. There's not many churches around here that have that many members. So if you really want to be high profile, you go to Joel Osteen's church and strip and show your breasts and your boobs and shout and scream and disrupt that church. It's weird how you can be so critical of your opponents and the rhetoric that they spew, and ignore the very vile, hateful, spiteful, and really even dangerous. You're talking about Pelosi's husband being beaten up. They wanted to kill Kavanaugh. They wanted to literally assassinate Kavanaugh. And nobody even came to his aid. And that's supposed to be against the law. Isn't that a federal law to threaten a United States Supreme Court justice? Can't you go to prison just for that act alone? Just the threat? But nobody was ever put in prison. Nobody was even criticized. In fact, the White House and Kamala almost kind of suggested that they could understand why they felt that way. And they empathize with it, and they sympathize with it, and they indirectly, and really maybe even directly, endorsed it. But when someone else does it, once again, I'm a man of fairness. I have my alts with the Republicans, I have my alts with the Democrats. But I believe in fairness. Which is going to be, it's what used to be an old saying: what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm tired of this one-sided. When one side does it, it's fine. When the other side does it, it's a travesty, and democracy is being attacked, and we're about ready to fall into hellfire. and yet you're doing the exact same thing, if not worse. But because you're doing it, it's okay. It's rooted in love. I'm gonna kill you, but it's rooted on love.
Well, I got another thing right for you. U.S. federal government pays $5 million for software to turn citizens into online misinformation responders. So that means that thing of you got a friend, you reporting misinformation, you can tell on a friend, reporting misinformation, blah blah blah. That's that type of nonsense.
But
now,
Bernard, isn't that what Nazism was? Family would.
That's what I'm trying. That's what I'm about to tell you.
Yeah. I mean, that's something you're talking about Nazis. You're talking about Kanye having a Nazi spirit. Isn't that a Nazi spirit? Didn't they tell the little children if they see their father?
Well, you got to remember in Nazi Germany now, let me tell you something. You're right. That's why I put it up there because I knew that's how you respond. Because in Nazi Germany, now listen closely to that.
Right.
They did have a method of people telling on their neighbor. This is how it went down.
Right. That's how a lot of Jews were caught. That's why a lot of Jews were caught.
Because somebody else doing something wrong, you were your own neighbor.
Yep. Even family members.
Yeah, now, I want to say this. But don't we have in the Black community? I mean, look, I'm gonna be dead. I'm gonna say it. And daggone anybody doesn't like what I say, they can kiss my ass. To be honest with you. But you know what? We got the NAACP, the ACLU. We got some fraternities, sororities,
Urban League,
right?
All them
out. Masons, so forth and like. Yeah, let's call them out. Al Sharpton.
Yeah.
Jesse Jackson, communist FBI informant. And I'm going to tell you, we got our own Nazis that we dealing with that's trying to roll us.
Come on. You better tell it.
Or we got a bunch of HNICs, head Nazis in charge. I ain't going to say head niggas. I'm going to say head Nazis in charge. Because they running them up. And they try and tell you, you got to stick me. Okay. As a matter of fact, they're not even a Black caucus because you're a Republican. You can't be in the Black caucus.
Yeah, that's right. You can't. Tim Scott's not in the
Black caucus. Is Democrat. Exactly. So why is Tim Scott not Black caucus?
And he's not Black you can get. And he ain't Black no caucus. And he's from South Carolina, the same state that Clyburn's from. He's Black. He's from the same state as Clyburn, but Clyburn's a member of the caucus, and he's not. What kind of sense does that make? It's all ideological. It's an ideological. It's almost like a gang. It's not even a caucus. It's a gang.
And we've been ruled by a bunch of gangs.
That's all we are. That's right. That's what we really.
Yeah, we getting ruled by a bunch of daggone. Now, as you know, Miss Maxine Waters, a lot of cryptocurrency guys been coming up dead, but Maxine Waters, this cryptocurrency guy named Sam Bankman-Fried, a Jewish guy, by the way, I think he's got to testify about this cryptocurrency scandal. Magna says she appreciates the man's honesty. Well, don't you think that's kind of a little bit below the belt that Maxine Waters supports this guy's honesty when this guy just scammed? Don't you think that's wrong?
Hey, Jack.
What's up, Shaq?
Peace. How you good man doing tonight?
Oh, not much. We getting into it though.
We were talking about in conversation. So I played some of the clips from last night on my phone because we had to keep the information, right? But I was playing clips of Obama condemning Kanye's or Ye's anti-Semitic comments. He said, we got to call it out when we hear these anti-Semitic, and we got to end that kind of mindset. And I said, now, wait a minute. You talking about ending a mindset. That's that daggone communist Marxist crap I was telling you about, Shaq. They want to change your way of thinking. That's
Yep, man. You absolutely correct.
programming.
They run the same script, baby.
Look at this thing I put up here. U.S. federal government pays $5 million for software to turn citizens into online misinformation responders. So if you see misinformation, you can report me. You can report you. This is what they want to do. What do you think about this? What do you think about this, Chak? Is that Nazism like? Is that kind of like Nazism?
Chak?
I don't know. Chak, what do you think? I was asking the question. He might.
Hold on, say that again.
Yeah, Chak fell asleep.
U.S. federal government pays $5 million for software to turn citizens into online misinformation responders. Is that Nazism?
Man, come on, man. I'm telling you, they all run the same script, man. They run it through the same Nazi playbook, communist playbook. You know, they're trying to demonize you for you having free thought, free speech, demonize your free speech, demonize your First Amendment, Second Amendments. You know what I mean? And put you in the concentration camp. Huh?
Except when it comes to their philosophy and their agenda and their rhetoric, then it's okay. You're supposed to be able to talk freely in support of their position, but then you're considered a traitor, anti-American, a destroyer of democracy, and all that other stuff when you say anything contrary to what they want to put.
Look at this, like what went on this last couple of years since this administration was in office. They was running the House and majority of the Senate, and haywire. Anything you said against them, you didn't agree with them, right? They wanted you to get canceled. They calling you hate speech. Now look at the change in energy now that the Republicans got majority of the House now, or the Senate, the majority of the House, because they know it's about to turn. But they both of us playing this because both of them they playing bad cop, worst cop. That's all. It's bad cop, worst cop.
I like that.
Oh, well, it ain't that bad. Oh, well, Republicans ain't that bad. You know, Democrats ain't that bad. You know what I mean? That type of game.
But just like Bernard said on my show, he made it very perfectly clear. Each of them, both of them, are being manipulated by some other group, some other people. It's not the politicians that really run this country. And he made it very clear last week. It's not the politicians. We got to get that out of our mind that somehow these politicians have all the power and all the influence. They don't. They are puppets being pulled. Their strings are being pulled by the puppet master who pulls their strings. And they have a common, and it's like you said, Chak, I like it. Bad cop, worst cop. Well, they tell us that. They said we have to choose from the least of the evil. Which one is least evil?
Hey, wait a minute.
So they're only giving you two choices: evil and worse evil.
Hey, let's add on to the heat. Let's add on to the heat. Al Sharpton says Kanye West's anti-Semitism is intentional. Adidas had the right to cut ties with him. I'm glad these people always tell you what's intentional, what's not. They know how I'm thinking in my brain. Blah blah blah.
Well,
you know it.
Well, BJ,
you know more about me than
but see, that's what I'm saying. This is where the Republicans are stupid. Because I'm going to say it once again. I'm going to give you another example. Sharpton said that, but was it being deceptive and deceiving and manipulative when he took that little girl who claimed she was being raped and stood up there? He knew she was lying and stood up there and ruined three guys' lives by defending her and supporting her until they found out it was all a lie and nothing happened to the girl. Was he being deceptive? Was he being manipulating? See, that's what I'm saying. You have to know these people who are speaking in their record. So we don't know that somehow or another our people we forget everything. I don't know what it is. It's a mental block or something. You just said it was brainwashing. But there is a mental block there that we forget what, for example, Biden has said over the years. We forget what Obama has done over the years. We forget what Sharpton did in trying to maneuver. We forget everything everybody's done and said. And whatever they're saying now, we accept as being their philosophy always. They've always been this way. You and I said it earlier, Bernard, they go with the wind. They blow with the wind. If the wind goes to the left, they go to the left. If the wind goes to the right, they go to the right. Most time with the Democrats, they stay in the middle lane of the highway.
Well,
they don't go to the left or the right. They can stay in the middle.
All right. Okay, I got it. And you know what? I'm gonna do this for the check. I was doing it with the phone, but I'm gonna do it live this time. Let me put up a live video. I don't like to cheat nobody, because this is by a different site. I got you.
So my wife got me this weird new kitchen knife as a Christmas gift. At first,
Matter of fact, I don't even think they tell me. Here you go. Well, that's just I was just showing you how Biden is put his chops in this thing and talking about the rising anti-Semitism. So that goes to show you he's in on it too. That's all. That's all I had to say about him. He just wants to get in here. Everybody wants to put their chops in it. You ever heard the old saying, everybody got to get their pound of flesh in?
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. So the question I'm going to ask, well, with all this being said, where do we go from here?
Well, I say we have to educate ourselves. We have to go back to school. Remember what they say, when you don't know history, it's doomed to be repeated. Yeah, we have to know our history. We have to remind ourselves and our children and our posterity where we've come from, where we're going. Yes, and I agree we have to educate, but then first we have to get educated. Even from my age group, which is the baby boomers. Many of us do not know enough even to teach our children and certainly not our grandchildren. We have to learn the truth and to share the truth and stop being dupes and dopes for people that only offer you symbolism and gestures. I'm tired of symbolism and gestures. I'm tired of statues of Floyd and Supreme Court justices like Jackson. It's fine. There's just no problem with that. But for that to be the answer to the solution of our problems is crazy for anybody to believe that a statue that I've never even seen firsthand and will never probably see sitting up there somewhere in Minnesota is gonna resolve the issues here in Philadelphia for me and the people in my community, or the people in Chak's community, or the people in your community, Bernard. That these gestures make a difference. And then the Republicans, they don't see any inroads in with us, though they have it all. They really have inroads, but somehow or another, they don't want to do what it takes to do what they have to do to draw us to them, so they just ignore us. The Democrats then embrace us in order to maintain their power, but have no real plan to significantly or permanently turn things around for us. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm getting to the point that if we would be strong enough of mind and of spirit, we need to start our own group, our own party, if you will.
What up, Dawson? I see you down there. She right. She said since 2000, hey, ain't no choice. You got to choose right or left. Since 2000, baby. You're going to have to pick your side. Because they definitely drew their line in the sand. You know?
Yeah, they have drawn their line in the sand.
Yeah, all of this. Look at it. Just look at it.
Our demise is imminent.
Mm-hmm.
We're about ready to become a permanent underclass of every other group.
Right.
We're the second behind Native Americans for being here. We were even here before Plymouth Rock. They landed on Plymouth Rock in 1620. Many of us were here even before 1619. Like Chak always says, we were here in the 1500s, in the 1400s, maybe earlier than that. But certainly we were here before 1620. Even the slaves that came here in 1619. So we were here before the first English settlement landed here and were permanently landed here. We've been here ever since.
Yeah, they got structures here that was here before the 1600s. So who built those structures, man?
Exactly.
I'm talking about like wonderful structures, like castles inside of mountains. Who built them? That wasn't built in the 1800s.
No,
they remodeled them.
Nor the 1600s, for that matter. Nor the 1600s. Nor the 1500s. Those are real old. They're like
old
BC.
Castles. Yeah.
BC, before Christ was even born. How about those big heads in Mexico?
Yeah.
They look like Africans.
The mounds. These mounds and stuff. What do you think?
Exactly.
Who designed them?
That was built in 919 BC, not AD, BC. That's before 900 years before, almost 1,000 years before Christ was even born. Images of black folk, all on this continent of North America. And people say, well, they don't have no ships that could come this far. They did so. They came, didn't they? And they didn't come on. All of them didn't come on slave ships. Some did, but a lot of them didn't. They were here before. They were here before the slaves got here. Black folk were here before the slaves.
Let me say something about that. You know, I'm glad you said that. Because let me bring something up. Ooh.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Are they gonna ban me, Chak, for what I said? Jewish slave ships. Hey, let's call it out for what it is. Is that hate speech? I mean, Kanye West said the same thing I just said. I mean, is it hate speech? I'm just asking.
If it's fact, how can it be hate speech if you're telling the truth?
Oh, you heard that, Chak? How is it hate speech? You telling the truth? Ain't that right? Is that right? That's right? Huh? That's true.
Well, they just they trying to kill freedom of speech because the man ain't never said anything hateful. He never said any, and that's why they keep confusing words, Bishop and Bernard. They keep saying hate speech. The man never said go kill anybody. The man never said go rob anybody to steal them, right?
Right.
Actually, he was calling out nefarious things that they've done to him and other people. But that's hate speech. I thought we were supposed to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
So
So help
God.
you God.
Yeah.
I thought so.
But obviously that's no
I don't
longer
know.
that's no
Not
longer
at all.
today. That's done
Right.
changed. Like everything else has changed in this society. All that's down by the wayside. All that's down by the wayside. To me, you can't say hate when you tell truth. Truth and hate don't even go hand in hand. You know what hate would do? Hate would allow this country to go to hell and not say a murmuring word to stop it. That's hate. Hate would not reveal anything that's truth. It would live in a lie. That's what hate is. Hate is built on lies.
Well, what is hate speech? Can I answer the question for you?
Mm-hmm.
Hate speech is speech, abusive or threatening speech that expresses prejudice against a particular group, especially on the basis of race, religion, or sexual orientation. That's what hate speech is.
And that's a new definition. It was even more strict in the old definition. I'm gonna look at the Oxford Dictionary, which is the oldest dictionary there is. Let's see what hate speech would be in the Oxford Dictionary. Let's look at the word hate first. Let's look at the word hate.
Yeah.
Let's break it up. Actually,
look at the word hate.
Yeah, let's break up this thing. What does the word hate mean, and what is the word speech? Speech is speaking on something. So let's look at hate. Let's look what hate, the definition of hate. Because that's what I want to hear. What is hate? Because that's a new term, hate speech. What's the word? What does the word hate mean? What is it hate?
Feel an intense or passionate dislike for someone.
Right. Feelings of hate and revenge. Hate and revenge. Intense hostility, aversion, usually deriving from fear, anger, or a sense of injury. So those are the real things. The race thing comes in later on. Remember, all these words are older than slavery. These words are older than racism. You have to go back to those dictionaries that talk about what the real definition was in the beginning. Now we've adjusted it to mean against race, against creed, against ethnic. No, it's broader than that. It's any intense hostility that you have or aversion, usually deriving from fear, anger, or a sense of injury. Extreme dislike or disgust and loathing of someone. And the loathing of someone. I can't stand your guts. That's what hate is.
Isn't that Mr. Greenblatt, Chak? Isn't that Mr. Greenblatt saying you like Hitler loved the Nazis and spending all your time with a white supremacist makes one thing clear. Ye is a vicious anti-Semite. His comments there on influence are not just violent, but they put Jews in danger.
And Greenblatt, is that a Jewish name? Sounds like it to me.
That's the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah,
that's the CEO of the Anti-Defamation League.
Which means he's Jewish. All of them are Jewish. All the leaders of that group is Jewish. So you think they may have prejudice? You're talking about, what he says prejudice, right? Well, wouldn't that be a prejudice? Can they be objective? Yeah. If I'm Jewish, can I really be objective in evaluating whether someone is anti-Semitic? Since any little thing, remember what I told you before of what that man said? Joel Stein said, I don't care whether they say that we run Wall Street, whether we run the news media, or whether we run government. As long as we keep on doing it, that's all that matters to us. And that's what they want you to, that's the truth of the matter. I don't care what you say. As long as we keep on running things, that's all that matters to us.
So they really don't care if you know they're running or not, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what it means. I don't care. I don't care whether you think that. I don't care. Joel said, I don't care if Americans think we're running the news media, Hollywood, Wall Street, or the government. I just care that we keep running them. And another man says every Jew as an ambassador to Israel. That's why you can't talk about Israel either. You can't talk about that. Then you're anti-Semitic about that. Now, that's a government. You mean that government can't be corrupt? That government can't be self-interest? That government can't be racist? We know that they are racist in Israel toward African Americans, toward Africans and other blacks that live there. The Palestinians are brown people. They're certainly prejudiced against them. But if you say that, then you're anti-Semitic. Though we know that's the truth. We know that's the truth, but you can't say it because it's anti-Semitic. But this guy said, I don't care if Americans think ill of us. As long as all we care about is we keep on running them. And that's what they're doing. You can talk about them all you want to. Paramount Global is still run by Jews. I'm going to give you a list of all of them. The American Media Incorporation is run by Jews. The Atlantic is run by Jews. The Facebook is run by Jews. On and on and on. Bloomberg's is run by Jews. Come on, Gerald, read some more of them. It's run by Jews. Breitbart is run by Jews. Let's go on. Let's go. Keep on going, Gerald. Say some more. Then we have a Russell Digital Group, which is the most powerful internet group in the nation, run by Jews. I can name the Jews that run them. Let's go with that. That one I just meant. Bustle is run by Brian Goldberg. He's an Ashkenazi Jew.
Call him out.
BuzzFeed is run by Jonah Peretti, who is a Ashkenazi Jew, and so is the chief of staff of that company. Go on, Joe. Say some more. How about Kadi Nas? All of these companies that are run by the Jewish people. And we can go on and on and on. I mean, what about the one they called the Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro? Run by Jews. Run by Jews. Paramount Global, which owns BET, Comedy Central, CBS. It's run by Jewish people.
Let me say something about that. I'm glad you said that. Because think about what you just said. You said what you said, right?
Right.
See, when people want me see now this Jewish thing, they try to control the left and the right. And I told you earlier, they try to control all levels of human activity.
Right.
Education, media, politics,
right.
Food industry,
exactly.
Pharmaceutical industry. They control 5 major organizations or levels of human activity.
True. Well, you're right.
Matter of fact, hold it. All this big push behind Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, all this other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, guess what? They controlling that too. Look on them boards. Look on the boards. I don't give a damn who's sitting up there. The World Economic Forum, the CDC, the IMF, the International Money Fund. Who's on the board?
Jews.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So if it quack like a duck, I guess it is.
And this is the truth. I mean, I just named you the heads of them. I'm not saying they're run by Jews, and I can't give you the name. Just look at the Reuters News. Is run by Michael Friedenberg. He's the president and CEO of that. Vice Media is run by Nancy DeBook. I can name you the people, even on the board. Vox Media, not Fox, but Vox Media. That's run by Jim Bankoff. We go on and on and on, you know. So, I mean, Paramount by Sherry Lee Redstone. Let me show you what Paramount Global runs. It runs CBS. It also runs Comedy Central, BET, which is supposed to be the Black Entertainment Network. It's run by Jews, not black folk. Showtime Network, Nickelodeon, MTV, Paramount, and even Paramount Pictures, all run by this company. And we go on and on and on. I can name. Look at Mark Elliot Zuckerberg. Come on, people. Facebook now it's the parent company of Meta Platforms. Mother and father are Orthodox Jews.
Hey. So is this let me ask you a question. Did you say you hate anybody in that thing you were talking about? Okay.
Nope.
Oh, that's right. You didn't say you hate nobody. I get it now. So it's hate.
I just told the truth, Bernard. I just told the truth.
That's
I
right.
told the truth.
That's who they are.
That's all I did. Now, if that's hating on somebody, it's me telling the truth. You can claim I hate, but I don't hate nobody.
Well, like Miss Dawson said, it's almost like they're the untouchables. They're the untouchables. They hide behind their lies and corruption.
That's right. That's what they are. And we're always bombarded with the Holocaust, and that's a plot too, because they want you to always remember it, so you don't jump in our face. See how evil the world was to us. See how Nazis and Italy was so violent towards us, killing us by the millions. They want to keep that in your face. So your attitude is always, the poor Jews. I don't want them to ever go through that again. That was such an awful time. It was an awful time. It was an awful time. It should never be. But what about slavery? I mean, people forget slavery.
No, they tell you forget about that. They tell you forget about it. But they tell you forget about slavery. But you know what their slogan says?
What?
Never forget.
That's right. And like Farrakhan
always say never forget.
Is always never forget, and it'll never happen again. And then they keep it in our face so that we can always have that guilt trip. They run that guilt trip with that against for us, so that we don't dare challenge them. Just like you said in the beginning of the program, Bernard, nobody's perfect. No group nor individual is blameless. That they have nothing that they have to be ashamed of. They've done everything right from the day they were born to the day they died. Ain't nobody is exempt from being critiqued, is exempt from being looked at and scrutinized. Nobody and no people.
Now, you know what? I'm not done yet. I got one other industry they run. And have you heard about this thing called Balenciaga lately?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I've heard
so they behind that too. They don't want to admit it, but hey, look, sometimes, Bishop, sometimes when I was a child, I used to like to hunt animals, and I had a thing with finding ants. And how do you find ants? You get a rock and you pick the rock up and you find all the little ants and their little hill, right?
I love that. I love doing that. Yep.
But we got to drive the ants out. Now, Balenciaga. They apologize for sharing an inappropriate campaign featuring children. So they say. That's what they say. But the question should be is, why were children in this campaign? Children shouldn't have been in the ad.
That's right.
So,
but you see how quickly everybody let bygone be bygone. By all they have to do is apologize, and everything is okay. Everything's smoothed over. And yet Kyrie is supposed to apologize, offer up $500,000, go to a deprogramming camp, you might well say, be retrained, go to an anti-Semitic thing. He had to go through 7 things. And the guy in the head of the team he's a member of, the head of the team that he's a player in, said, and that's only the start. What? This man just said, I'm sorry. It's okay, brother. We all make mistakes. This brother here, it's okay. We all make mistakes. That's all he had to do. I'm sorry. That's all he did. He had to pay nobody no $500,000. He had to go no camp. Didn't have to go no deprogramming or no pedophile, nothing. He's not going to be put on the register or nothing. Everything's okay. He's sorry. Kyrie has to go through hell. He's suspended indefinitely. He has to pay $500,000. he has to go to some kind of deprogramming so that he learns to love instead of hate. He had to do all this stuff before they even, just like the guy said, and that's only a start. Come on, people. Come on. Come on.
Yo, Chak. What you got going on in the background here? You good? Hello? I can't hear you. Yo.
I can hear something in the background.
Yeah, like something.
Yeah.
I'm talking. I can't. I'll leave it alone.
I know.
But nevertheless, I just want. Whoa. They ain't hung up.
Yeah. We hear that background noise.
No, let me see something. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna play one clip of the view. No.
Y'all like to hear what them women say. Goldberg.
No, you know what? I don't know, because they like to do copyright stuff on people. So this is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just say the View. They talked about Balenciaga, but they didn't really talk about it. They talked about the clothing style ugly. I don't give a damn about the clothing style. I'm talking about the child in the sex bondage clothes. What are y'all talking about? Yo.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, but you talking to somebody, right?
My volume is messed up, man. They won't let me.
Nah, but it sounds like you're on a phone call or something.
Somehow talk like a TV's on.
Hold on, man. My audio, I can't even hear it. It's too low.
No, you good. Well, like I said, I just want to say that they had the View on. They talked about the outfit. I don't really care about the outfit, man. I just look at it like whatever, man. Like no, like you got to talk about children. They were talking about you helping people who want to get mad with the people. So like, what are you talking about, man? Like anybody mad with anti-LGBTQ? This ain't no anti-LGBTQ statement. This is daggone. We talking about you daggone having children in sex ads.
That's it.
So. Because I don't want my child seeing it. You got a problem here? What's up? No.
I don't understand why you would, but obviously they do have a problem.
But save the children, and that's what got to be done. But like I said, well, this has been actually very interesting. Glad I caught you earlier. Now I'm glad I caught you again. So with that being said, I just was gonna say, I'm gonna let him I hope he comes back on right quick so he can give out his information. I gotta make a run in a minute. Matter of fact, yeah, going.
Well, this was a great program tonight. It was very informative, as usual. It was factual. It was the truth. They may not like it. They may not accept it. Then they might embrace it. They may say it's hate. But I don't think the truth should never be classified as hate. It says in the Bible, the truth will set you free. And who doesn't want to be free? Isn't this a nation that's going to be a land of the free, the home of the brave? Well, it doesn't seem like we want the freedom part of it is certainly diminishing as time goes on. There's a lot of freedoms that are being in jeopardy of being lost. The freedom of speech, the freedom of assembly, a lot of freedoms are being challenged right now. The freedom to bear arms, a lot of freedoms are being challenged. Yeah, this would be the land of the free, home of the brave, But to be free and brave in this country right now is jeopardizing. It'll jeopardize your life, Sad thing to say, but it's true.
Okay, there we go. Can you hear me now? Mike, check.
Yeah, yep. I can hear you all the time, but it just sounded like you had a conversation going on in the background. That's why I asked you.
But when you get a phone call, for some reason it throws the audio off with this app, cross apps and stuff. So my audio was so low I couldn't hear y'all. Yeah. Okay. So I had to reset it.
And like I said, I'm glad you came back. I was about to wrap up anyway, but I'm glad you came back on and give out your information.
No shit. Hey, well,
Yeah, no.
you know, we,
But wait a
we
minute.
get,
Want to make one statement about Balenciaga right quick, because I do want you to make a statement about Balenciaga.
You know, we was talking about that earlier, man, about how me and Turner was talking about that, how he broke it down, how it actually spell out ball as king or something, right? In Latin or something. Balenciaga, it spells out
And ball
Baal,
is the god of
Baal or
child.
ball is
Ball is
king.
the god of child.
Right. And I think it's
Yeah.
spelled out like in
Bell,
Spanish or Latin
Bell.
or something, it spells out
Yeah,
ball
Bell.
is king.
Yeah, Bell.
Baal is king.
Bell, yeah, Bell.
Baal is king, yeah. Well, if you know pronounce it in a
Pagan.
different
Yeah, that's a
is it
pagan
Spanish?
I'm going to the
Latin or
bathroom
something?
right quick. Yeah, that's it. Yep.
It's actually Babylonian.
Yeah, so it's like Baal is king if you actually read it that way. But yeah, man, it's Bishop, a lot of things is coming to light, man, coming to pass, man. The
You got that
darkness
right.
is coming to the light, man. You shaking it, it's being sifted. You know what I'm saying? The ground is being sifted, you know. The worms is coming up out the ground, you know. Hey, you coming to the surface, man. They gotta come to the sunlight, baby. You can't hide in darkness forever. You know what I
Not
mean?
forever. You
The
got that
truth
right.
gotta come out, baby. It's gotta bleed through. The truth gonna bleed through, man, and we can see the push that they're making to keep the truth, you know what I mean, hidden or suppressed. And it's trying to suppress people, you know what I'm saying? We know the play, Bishop. They entice you with the shiny things, they entice you with the riches and stuff, the women, the sex, you know what I mean? And
That's right.
you fall by the wayside, man, you know, because now you fell into your own fantasies. You feel victim to your own um what's the word I'm looking for?
Your own trap.
Your own trap. So they know how to entice people now. They know how to entice people and
Oh
pull on
yeah.
that heartstring, pull on that, you know. Oh, you want to be a millionaire? Oh, okay, well, we'll make you a millionaire. We'll make you a millionaire plus. But you got to follow our script. You got to follow
That's it.
our script.
That's it. That's it.
No
Point
matter, and
blank.
you know. So I always think these major companies, like these clothing companies, these big multi-billionaire Fortune 500 companies, and these like the fashion companies, big name fashion companies, I always thought they was a shell for the devious stuff going behind the scenes, the sex trafficking, the organ harvesting, the drugs, pushing the drugs and stuff in and out. You know what I mean? Guns and stuff, legal guns and stuff in and out. You know what I mean? And it's starting to look like that, man. It's starting to look like that.
That's
You
true.
got people get caught. And I'm trying to understand how did Hugh Hefner last as long as he did? How the hell? How did he have a free pass to do what he do? But they talking about Kanye, talking about R. Kelly. Okay, now you heard about him? They trying to appeal. They trying to appeal because they was, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to say there was a lot of false stuff going on in the court. So they trying to appeal his case.
Oh yeah, I heard it trying to look into that.
Yep.
Have to do it all over again.
You know, I go show you something. Let me show you something, Chak, before I leave. I want to show you something. I'm going to show it on the big screen this time. They won't get mad. This ain't too bad. You know, oh.
You know, it was that
Just a few days
friend
ago,
of mine, Paul Pelosi, was attacked in his own home. Somebody breaks into his house looking for his wife, Nancy,
Speaker of the House.
And thankfully, he's back home now. And we're going to let investigators do their job. But here's what's clear, Pittsburgh. This habit we have of demonizing political opponents, of saying crazy stuff. It creates a dangerous climate. And when you have people who are in leadership positions who promote or ignore over the top rhetoric. And then when there's an attack like this, they make light of it, they joke about it. Then more people are going to get hurt. And more than that, we violate the basic spirit of our democracy, the spirit of who we are as Americans. And by the way, it's not just politicians. Whether it's out of malice or ignorance, we've seen recently big celebrities reposting vile anti-Semitic conspiracy theories online. And you don't have to be a student of history to understand how dangerous that is. And how unacceptable it is. And I don't know when we decided that we were just going to believe everything we read on the internet. Here's a tip for you. If you read or see something online that has some grand theory about how some particular group, whether it's black folks or white folks or Jews or Catholics or immigrants or gays, if you read or see something that says they're the cause of all your problems, then it's safe to say it is garbage. It is a lie. It is dangerous poison. We've got to call it out and put an end to that kind of mindset.
What do you think about that, Chak? My fault.
Man, I don't understand why y'all keep bringing this Dracula out. I'm gonna start calling him Dracula. Dracula 2023. Dracula. Drake. 2023.
Yeah, he is.
They keep bringing it, but you see, they got the good old boys together, though, man. You hear me?
I see.
I said they got the good old boys together, man. They working overtime. They working overtime, Bishop. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they got their in a row. I can give it to them.
What I say about him, see, he pushing that nonsense too. The problem is he doing it. He's saying nobody said that one group is responsible for all our problems. I ain't never say that.
Right.
You ain't never say that. What the hell is he talking about? Hell with him. Like, what is he talking about? Like, come on. J Bomber. Dang. J Bomber called the protesters for Freddie Gray. He called them thugs. You know what, Bishop? He did call those protesters in Baltimore thugs, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah, I remember those days.
I remember when he talked to that college group and chastised them. They in college, it was a graduating class. Get ready to go to become doctors and lawyers and school teachers, whatever they're going to do in their life. And he's scolding them. You better stay on the straight and narrow. What kind of? See, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that at Harvard, but he did it at Howard. So that's how they do. They just scold us, like we're children. Now they already are graduating. This is the graduating class. This is not the freshman class. This was the graduating class. They're going to go off now to do some great things in life from the 4 years they spent in college. They got their degrees now. Some of them are going on to get their master's degrees. Some will get their doctorate. And instead of you applauding them and encouraging them, you chastening them, stay on the right track. Don't go out there and mess up. What kind of keynote speaker are you for a graduation class? And you're chastising people that have already earned 4 years of scholarship. Maybe not at Harvard like you came from, and Yale like you came from. Maybe it wasn't just a HBCU college, Howard. But they did what they were supposed to do. And instead of you encouraging them to go further, you're chastening them, making it seem as though, don't you get off track. Stay on the road. No, come on, man. He would not have done that at Harvard. He would not have told them Harvard graduates, stay on track now.
Well,
don't you get off track. But he's talking to a bunch of black folks, so Obama and his relationship with black folks.
Let me say something to you. You can go pull this article up, or you can just go Google this. Chak and Bishop. Some Chicago Jews said Obama is actually the first Jewish president.
And we just said why that is. And I just told you why that is. I gave you the name of his brother, who's Jewish. And it's not on the white side, surprisingly. It's not even on the white side. It's on the African side. It's his daddy's people.
Oh.
Didn't I tell him BJ? Didn't I
you told me the name. You told me the name. You told me the name. That's right. That's right.
And I told you where you can find it. It's found in an article called The House of Israel. So the Israelis are acknowledging it. It's not called Black Jumbo. It's called the Israeli House. That's the periodical that had that in it. And it gave the man's name. And he's one of the sons of Barack Obama Sr. The younger brother of Obama, 4 years younger than Barack Obama. So he does have some connection with those folks. See, you have to know your scholarship. You have to read. It's like Bernard said, we got to read for ourselves. We can't take the 5-minute sound bites. We got to start reading for ourselves. I found that, in 2 minutes, Bernard? You said it, and I found it in 2 minutes. The whole history of the family. Who it was, what his name is, how he's related, and all the rest of that. So the Jewish Jews are right. The Chicago Jews, look, it was Chicago Jews.
You see this?
Yep.
You see the cell phone we got?
Yep.
Yeah.
He found it in 2 minutes. People ask, where you get the information from? You got? Ain't you talking to me on the cell phone? Hello? Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
You can find the information you want to look at, right?
If you want to find it.
But you want to argue, yell and scream at me, right?
Right.
Because I said what I said. But the information's right there in front of you. And that stuff he talking about, nobody ever told us to believe everything we saw on the internet anyway. I don't know what he's talking about. So that's it.
Yeah.
And he actually called the internet the greatest threat to our democracy. But if I remind you, Mr. Obama was very, very instrumental in using the internet to help his campaign.
It won him the election. He was the first president to ever utilize the internet like he did. No other president before him has ever utilized the internet the way Obama did. And because of the way he utilized it and got that grassroots movement going, he became the 44th president of the United States of America. He utilized it. Now he's calling it the villain, the greatest threat to America. And maybe it was because it could allow you to become president. Maybe you're right about that.
Wow.
Without it, you wouldn't have been president. Hillary would have won. Maybe you're right about that.
Gift and the curse, baby.
It was the worst thing that could happen because it got you to be president of the United States. So maybe you're right. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. For black people, he is.
Like Dawson said, he got all Dang, man. Dang, dude. Hey, man. Hey, Frank. I didn't know he was coming on. Well, I did. Well, I knew it, but I forgot. Hey, Frank.
What up with it, Frank?
What up?
Hey, Frank.
Yo, I'm just getting in.
Ain't no...
Yeah, I hear the echo.
Yeah, you got your YouTube in the background, Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. That's an echo right there.
Yeah, heavy echo. Oh yeah, it's even reverberating our tone. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's even reverberating our tone.
All right, I got it now. It's good. I didn't come back on a minute. Hold on, let me see. You good?
Yo.
I got it now. You good?
What up, y'all?
Hey.
Man, just got back home, man, you know?
Yeah, you doing, Frank?
Right.
Peace.
What up, y'all, man? Another day, my bad, man. So what we talking about here, man?
A little bit of everything.
Well, wait a minute, man. We've been talking about so much, man. And actually, to tell you the truth, this is all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to talk because I can't leave you in the wind like that. So I gotta run out in a minute. But we've been at it for an hour and some change. We talked about Mr. Obama being the first Jewish president. I pulled it up. Matter of fact, it's right on the screen. Actually, you can look at it.
First gay president and the first Jewish president.
That's right too. Yeah, I pulled it up too. But we talked about who's running these companies. We played Greenblatt. We talked about where do we go from here, the state of the Black Union. Where do we go from here? And Bishop says it's like we're almost at the in an apocalypse. Like, we got a boiling water crisis in Houston. We got people in the north that might be freezing. No diesel. We got this. We got that. We got this. We got that. We got Balenciaga, which is Baal, BL, the god of child sacrifice. Yes, Balenciaga. And we talked about a lot of things, but we talked about basically who's running this show. We even talked about what hate speech is. But we said who's running the show, and Bishop called about 20 Jewish people who were running the show, running companies
that run the show.
And we can go further because the Jewish people that run Halliburton in these military industrial conflicts too, if we want to get technical.
And they run the hospitals. The CEOs of the hospitals are Jewish for the most of certainly the bigger hospitals. They're run by Jews. You know, the jewelry industry, diamonds and emeralds and all of that, gold and silver and all that. That's run by the Jewish industry, the Jews. I mean, we go on and on and on. We keep on going on, and we'll see that they run the whole country.
Well, this is what we found out about. Well, no, Bishop, repeat that quote from 2008 to Frank.
Yeah, that quote that the gentleman made. Let me say it to you. Let me say it to you right now. Let me get it right quick. Okay, here we are. Is that it? That's not that one. Where did I put that thing? I'm now not gonna find it. Why? Where did I put that? Where did I put that quote?
I can remember it in my head almost.
Yeah. I mean, I know what it's saying. It's saying I don't care whether Americans don't like the fact that we run Wall Street, that we run Hollywood, that we run all these, even the government. As long as we keep on running it, that's all that matters to us. I don't care whether you like it or not. I don't care whether you criticize us or not. As long as we keep on running it, that's all that matters to us. And when all's said and done, they can say that much. They're still running it. We squawk about it. We complain about it. But the bottom line is, when the dust clears, we're still running it. We're still running the whole thing, the whole show. We're still running it.
You said that. Damn, you said that. That's true though. You said the jewelry industry, the medical. Damn, dude. I mean, what don't they own? You know,
that's all. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. I mean, what else is there? And Bernard added the military industry. So what else is there? What else is there but the thing Hollywood, the government, Wall Street? What else is there in this country? Everything revolves around those things.
They never lie.
We're in deep.
Wow.
Fashion industry. Don't forget them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't forget that. No.
But see, and then you mention stuff that they own, and it's a problem. But okay, if we say that we don't own anything, see, you could say we don't own anything, or we or whoever, and that's not a problem. See, that lets you know that we don't have power, and these people do have power.
Right.
They're letting you know they have power. But see,
I want to read this. I want to read this to you. Look at that, Frank, Chak, Bishop. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is I forgot the name of the website. I know what it is, but I got to go back and get the whole name for you. Increasing hate speech, stigma, discrimination, or xenophobia. Now listen to this now. I'm going to read this whole thing. And everybody can put their 10 cents in after this. In the context of the global COVID-19 crisis, there have been unprecedented increases in hate speech, stigma, discrimination, and xenophobia. The UN guidance note. This comes from the UN now. See, this hate speech thing I pulled was off the UN. This the off the UN website.
Right.
On addressing encounter in COVID-19 related hate speech notes increases in hate speech against individuals and groups in the form of scapegoating, stereotyping, stigmatizing, using derogatory, misogynistic, racistic, or xenophobic language. In the United States of America, a report by Human Rights Watch, which is the largest gay advocacy group in the country. Don't forget, Human Rights Group is the largest gay advocacy group in the country. Finds that President Trump's use of the term Chinese virus, Secretary of State's use of Wuhan virus may have been a contributing factor to the rise in the use of hate speech against Asian Americans. On March 19th, 2020, a coalition of Asian American groups created a hate speech reporting to stop AAPI hate. That's that group they had. On April 24th, 2020, the coalition reported it received almost 1,500 reports of discrimination related to COVID-19 from Asian Americans across the country, including cases of verbal harassment, shunning, and physical assaults. Explore the data in the dashboard to learn more. Now, this article is a bunch of nonsense. All right. I don't need you to raise your hand like we in school or nothing. But I don't see black people going out attacking. Matter of fact, I don't see black women attacking Asians in their shops. I see it the other way around most of the time.
Right.
Somebody's lying here. This countering digital hate.
It shows to me. It shows me just how irrelevant we are. We're really irrelevant. They don't really care about whether we suffer. They don't care what goes on with us. They don't really care. We are irrelevant. As long as everyone else is happy, as long as everyone else is protected, as long as everyone else is safe, everyone that's in power is satisfied. Because they have some sort of leverage over the government. We have no leverage. We don't demand nothing. We don't expect nothing. And we vote for the same party over and over again, knowing that we're not going to get anything because we've been voting for that party since 1828.
I have never had an Asian guy hit me. I never had an Asian guy I hit either. So what's the deal here? I'm just finding, what's up.
It's once again propaganda. It's feeding a narrative. It's creating an issue that is no issue. Most of the issues in this country aren't even issues. For real.
That's a good. Sorry about that, Bishop. That's a good point right there, man. That was. I think I was kind of saying something like that the other day. You know what I'm saying? Just this stuff is just like he said. It's just a narrative. It's just propaganda. You know what I'm saying? They create. It's just. This is for ratings, for clicks, for views. This is to indoctrinate people's mind. You know what I'm saying? They over there. Oh, Kanye. Calling him Con something. You know what I'm saying? Or yay something. Yay loft. Like on some hit like German like Hitler type stuff. It's like And the thing is, I had to tell somebody. Hitler was Time Magazine's Man of the Year. You feel what I'm saying? He was Time Magazine's Man of the Year back then.
1932.
Martin Luther King was more hated than Hitler. You know what I'm saying? Why, if that was the case, why was George Bush and Prescott Bush and them laundering his money? The Americans got the propaganda from, you know what I'm saying? Or the Germans got the propaganda from America. You see, it's like they've been working with each other. They wouldn't have had no Operation Paperclip. They wouldn't have been sending all these Nazis over here if that was the case. People just don't do their research. People just so caught up in emotions, and see that's where that propaganda come in. You see what I'm saying? Okay, this is put right there on the screen. This is put out there, so I gotta believe this. This is what I should think too. This is the narrative I should go with too. And meanwhile, you don't do no research. You don't look at anything yourself, right?
That's the problem. 5-minute sound bites. We set up a whole philosophy over 5-minute sound bites.
What do you think about that? That's what they say. Report of hate crimes against LGBTQ rise by more than 50% in the West.
Where's the proof?
Because somebody said.
Anybody could put data or whatever.
Make a percentage out of it, yeah. Anybody
could put that out there, this or that, this percentage. Anybody could do that, right? You know what I'm saying?
So they're saying this year there was 712 reported incidents in 2019 to 1,109 attacks in 2021. If you ain't got number 712 reported incidents, right? If you go a 3-year period, that's like basically what? One attack a day. You know how many people there is living in the world, man, to bring this up? What I'm saying, nobody's attacking LGBTQ people that much. But we gotta they gotta keep on pushing this garbage. So they gotta come with their propaganda, and we gotta say we're not doing it. We're not hating you. Matter of fact, be honest with you, we just probably won't be around you, but we don't mean it's not hate. Okay? This is not about hating people. So I'm gonna say it once again. I condemn anti-Semitism in all its forms because you are being anti-Semitic towards us on this platform. You have been anti-Semitic toward us and the people in chat for years. Okay? As a matter of fact, how am I anti-Semitic anyway? I thought Semitic was a language. Oh, my fault. Did I hurt somebody's feelings there? I'm always tempted to play Dr. Khalid. You know what? I would do it anyway. The hell with it. But hold on, let me use my phone. Hold on with a minute. See, call it a Schindler's List. If you can remember that. Remember those things back in the day? They called it a Schindler's List and all that? Yeah.
That was a movie.
Remember that? Yeah. Remember?
I remember.
I remember it.
Mm-hmm. Let me find this right quick. Can you hear that?
Black people. I'm so glad you asked that question. I believe that the liberation and salvation of the black nation must be brought about by black people gaining a thorough knowledge of self after our 500 to 6,000 year Holocaust, where we have lost over 600 million. And so I believe that education process must be a process of 2 steps: inspiration and information.
Now, wait a minute. He's saying he lost 600 million. They say they lost 6 million. Which one worse, if that's the case? I'm asking. That's what he said. Now, Dr. Khalid, I'm saying that. What? So am I missing something here? I mean, you're talking about 6 million. He said we lost 600 million. Matter of fact, with the abortions, it's probably more than that.
Oh, shit.
Could I call Planned Parenthood a Holocaust, perhaps? Chak, is Planned Parenthood a Holocaust?
Ooh.
No, I think it is. It's 40 million.
Hey, that's a good point.
But he just mentioned it.
40 million.
He the first one. He the first one I heard mention about a black Holocaust for real.
Oh no,
that's a good point.
I have a book called Black Holocaust.
Okay.
You can find it in Amazon.
Speaking of Amazon, y'all see how they upped the pricing with that DVD with that what's the name, the Negroes?
Yeah, $26 now.
These people's too much, bro. See, they're getting monetary gain off people's confusion, off people's aggression, off people's anger. It's all to get a reaction from us, man. That's why I'm really like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of, I'm trying not to really fall.
I'm gonna let y'all hear that some anti-Semitic part that he brought up in here. We're not anti-Semitic, but the language thing. Hold on, I'm gonna hear that.
Rules in our people. He gives them the guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol, the way you did our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino sisters, and then you pit one against the other and then say, look at what these people are doing.
That's a good point.
May I have your attention, please? Thank you.
Adolf Hitler perpetrated the Holocaust on 11 million people that died, 6 million of which were Jews, 5 million were others. Am I to understand that you would very much support his way of doing things and him, for that matter?
Sir, this is not reverse racism nor discrimination that you could tie into your statement on Hitler. If the slave master is whipping the slave and blood is running down the slave's back, and that's incidentally where the term cracker comes from the cracker man who was had the crack of the whip on the slave's back. But if the slave takes the slave master, whipping the slave master with his own whip, that is not reverse racism. That is not reverse discrimination. That is the slave getting out from under the yoke of bondage and oppression. I don't advocate what Hitler has done before the world. Hitler's struggle. I went to the Holocaust Memorial Museum and I tried to separate Hitler as a freak of nature from the rest of white people. But after all that we have gone through, I know that there's a little bit of Hitler in all white people and a lot of Hitler. And we'll be back in just
a moment. Hey!
To the Jewish.
See, and that's why they couldn't have him on the.
Hold on. When he died in 2001, they say he had an aneurysm or something. I think they killed his ass.
I think they killed him, and then too that's why the nation, even before that, the nation separated itself from him too, because I guess he said he was like he was of Moorish descent, and he was saying some other stuff, and they had to shut him down. You know what I'm saying? Him and what's the name got into him and Farrakhan. You know,
I do it a little bit, but you know, but this was more like a thing, you know, where you know. Now I'm gonna say something. He was ahead of time. Now Kali, you know, who was a little bit like, hey, you know, let's go ahead and put him to bed. You know what I'm saying? Let's put it like that. Hold on, this is a guy audience because this is on Phil Donahue. Now we used to have shows like Phil Donahue and them back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So let's
keep it. Who slaughtered 39 Palestinians and became a Jewish hero? Publicly, Rabbi said what about the fingernails? Dr. Collins said that the rabbi said that the fingernail of one Jew was worth more than all of the Arabs in the world. And the New York Times ran the lead story with the photo showing the Jews past his grave. Not only called him a hero, but slave.
Yes, may I make this point, Mr. Muhammad? The atrocity perpetrated by Goldstein was roundly and publicly condemned by the entire leadership of the Jewish community in America, as well as the leaders of the state of Israel.
Let me ask you this.
They publicly condemned that action, and I can't even get you to look into the camera and convey even the remotest notion that you have in your heart some love for two Jews who died trying to save black people in the South. I speak of
you cannot get me to look into the camera and do that.
May I ask you to kindly speak to that?
You cannot get me to look into the camera and show love for two Jews. I don't even know them. I live with this pain and suffering every day among my own people. Look at our babies. They're in the Oakland and the Bay Area. They're watching Schindler's List. You have your Schindler's List, but for us, it's been a swindler's list because someone is attempting to steal our birthright. They stopped.
Ooh, see, that's what he do. He said something about a birthright. Oh yeah, I see what he was. Ooh, I went over people's head right there.
The bird comes in. The governor comes in. What about the statements of the Jew, Howard Stern, the comedian Moshe Dayan? What about those of the Senate have made racist comments and Congress, and they were voting against me, but they were not brought up by their own colleagues in that so-called august body.
Yes.
Hello. What I'd like to point out is just as you said that you can't judge all black people by one person, you can't judge white people by just Hitler. What you have to realize is that we're in a diverse nation, which is America, and we have a lot to learn from everybody in this room. I feel I do, from all black people, all white people, and anyone else who happens to be in this room with me. America's the first
Yes, sir. Mr. Muhammad, could you please tell me, does Islam believe in Judaism and Christianity?
and under Islam, are Jews and Christians are people of the book. Do you believe that? And further, do you believe, sir, that one people and one book sent by the same one God? And you refer to the people up front that they are your brothers. Is it possible, Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, that I am your brother also? And is it also possible that we are brothers truly responsible for each other? Is that possible?
The Holy Quran says that the messenger of God believes in what has been revealed, and so do the believers. And I am a believer. In Islam, we believe in one God whose personal and proper name is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that one God, we believe, sent all the prophets and the great ones in the great line of divine, and we believe in all of the revealed scriptures. I don't know you, sir. I could feel that if you were attempting to live according to the law of God, then you might be my brother in the faith, but not my brother by nature.
That's right. Mr. Muhammad, are you aware, Mr. Muhammad, that the courts-martial system on or about or in or about World War II condemned many black sailors for their involvement in handling munitions, where many of them died as a result of their handling these munitions? Would you believe, Mr. Muhammad, that the Jewish war veterans that I'm proud to represent took this issue on, and we have condemned the United States Navy as it relates to the deaths of these sailors, and we have condemned them for their continuance, dishonorable discharge of these black sailors? I ask you, Mr. Muhammad, what have you done on this specific issue?
Well, it's kind of difficult to believe you on anything, but I would say this, that I do know that during that same war, that America was, as is today, so racist until the German officers, when they were captured, could eat in the same mess hall and have the same accommodations as the white American officers. But the black troops were segregated, couldn't come into that mess hall unless they were scrubbing the floors and washing dishes. So it was a white man honoring another white man, though one was American and one was German, and they were supposed to be enemies. There was still a tie that was able to bind the two together.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
All right, he about to get to. Now, I remember this interview now. I had to think about it.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw it when it
It's
happened.
coming.
I saw when it first came by.
To get in the picture.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, hi. I'm representing Queens College, and everyone is talking about what's been denied. But the problem that we have as students is our history is not being taught in the textbooks. And by me being a student and a citizen of America, I would like to know, when is that time going to come so you can learn about my history and understand my people? We are not in your books.
Yes, Phil, I like to say that, what he's saying is being backed up by Jewish scholars as well. This is not only the information that Khalid has. Jewish scholars have the information. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. He came to Fort Worth, Texas, where the police department is killing black men wholesale. 6 black men have been killed in less than a year. But through his effort, there's been a change on the gang members' part in our community. So we appreciate Brother Khalid.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Being an educated college person, I see that you can always bring up events like this where people have been killed and mass murders from all people. Let's learn off the past and not make high school comments like yours and put down Hitler-like manners and try to form peace and learn off the past and from the future.
Sir, you wanted to say. Sir.
Yes, sir. I like to see us lay to rest this whole notion of anti-Semitism. The one thing that is an incorrect statement. Because the whole idea of a Semites were people who lived in Southwestern Asia, including Northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, who spoke Ugaritic, who spoke Ge'ez, who spoke Ethiopic, spoke Hebrew, who spoke Arabic. Those are our people. We are a Semitic people. Therefore, we cannot be anti-Semitic. Ashkenazic Jews are calling us anti-Semitic. We cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the descendants of a Semitic people. Let's lay that to rest. That was a weapon in the hands of the Jews since 1870. They used it against other people, but it doesn't work against people in Northeast Africa. Thank you.
That's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I was trying to get to. That's why I told you this is a language.
No, but it's also a location, in the sense, and only the sense that and people are wrong, because Ashkenazi Jews, remember all the people I named as far as the head of these companies, they're all Ashkenazi Jews. Ashkenazi Jews are not Semites. They are Japhites. They are the other son of Noah. We are the Semites. We are the Arabs are the Semites. We are the Semites. They are the Japhites. And if anything, they are Japhites. They are not Semites. So you can't be anti-Semitic if you're a Japhite. You can be an anti-Japhite, I guess. But you're not anti-Semitic. Because everybody I mentioned to you tonight was an Ashkenazi Jew. That's a European Jew. And most Jews, they came out of that area and landed in Europe, and they became Ashkenazi Jews. They are not, that's not Semitic. Like you said, Semitic is a certain language, and it is from a certain lineage. And the lineage is not Shem, it was Japheth, the other son of Noah.
Yeah. And let me tell you something about Phil Donahue. And I was looking at that thing. He actually was trying to hear him get the mic for that guy. So, for that being said, Shaq, the man told you what a Semite is. This was back in 1994, 1995 interview. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? This is almost 30 years ago. I was like 8 years old when this interview came out. Do you have a problem?
Well, it always comes to our trauma, and it's the trauma and our pain is still ongoing, like you said, and the bleeding has never stopped. So, and they always trying to deflect and say, well, you know, everybody's been hurt. Yeah, you're right. Everybody has been hurt and traumatized, but the bleeding is still, our bleeding is still going on, man. We still getting traumatized and brutalized in our own land. G, they took our name. They continue to reclassify us. At least Jews, if they got reclassified, they reclassified themselves and built the culture for themselves. We still up under the finger of being classified and reclassified, and you know what I mean, misplaced and replaced.
Even when they were slaves, they never lost their religion. They never lost their culture. They never lost their language. They still kept their identity. We lost all of that. We lost all of that, and that was purposeful. So we could not come together and unite. We lost our language. We lost our culture. We lost our religion. We lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, they were trying to call him. Go ahead. My bad.
No, go
ahead.
No, I was going to say.
I just want to bring this up.
And it wasn't for no 10 years, 1933 to 1945. That's 12 years. Ours was from the 1500s to 2022. Now add that up.
Well, they are saying, but you realize in the interview, you even had people trying to call him Hitler-like. See, you see that deflection.
They want to go back to that false thing, yeah.
But he was able to hold his own in the interview. So all you got to do, you want to see the interview, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Phil Donahue, and it comes up and he explains it perfectly. I played like 8 minutes of it, but daggone, that interview is a good interview, and he broke a lot of stuff down.
I like that.
But that's when you had, I mean, Phil Donahue, and let's not give you honor. Phil Donahue, I don't give a damn about, but you had people that actually, you know, had good shows. Barbara Walters, they actually brought some type, even Oprah Winfrey would even bring some people on sometimes, but she ain't bring no Dr. Khalid Muhammad on, though. But that's just how it goes. Frank, what you think about this subject, man? Pretty interesting topic right there. Interesting.
Yeah, that was good, man. She was spitting some fire. I mean, he was spitting some fire, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the dude was right, man. You know what I mean? That's where the Semites come from, man. It's not no. You know what I'm saying? It's not. And he, like he just said, you know what I'm saying? They take they take your nationality, your birthright, right? You see what I'm saying? And switch it with theirs, and then they put labels on theirs so they could be protected. You know, their people could be protected like anti-Semite, or Semite. You know what I'm saying? And they call, and it's funny too. how they call it, they'll say Jewish population or Jewish. How come there's no Christian population? Why is there no Catholic population? Why are they trying to make it seem like these people are a race of people? It's a creed. It's a religion. There ain't no race. Why do they keep saying that? See, the words like that keep, keep us and keep people embedded with that kind of mindset that these people are a race. They're not a race. They're not, they're not, I mean, you can't, they're a religion. You don't hear people talking about, the Christian population, the Catholic population. That lets you know right there too. That lets you know right there too, man. These people really trying to push a narrative. It's propaganda. They're going with it. They've been doing it for a while. People are really brainwashed. People are sheep. People don't, do their own research. Even if they're not watching the news. You see what I'm saying?
There you go. That word sheep. If Dawson's still in the chat, Dawson says a sheep of the masses.
Exactly.
You know what?
It's controlled. It's controlled.
Sheep don't find the wolf. The wolf comes and eat up all the sheep.
And the sheep are easily led.
Sheep don't fight back.
In fact, sheep will be led. You can lead a sheep over a cliff, and they will follow you.
I'm going west. That's right. Sheep go to the slaughterhouse
willingly.
Now, one more thing I'm going to say before I depart. I want to say this before I depart. As you know, now they're saying we got a amoxicillin shortage, a poultry shortage, a Tylenol PM shortage, a Motrin shortage, all these shortages. And yes. Hello. Are we really short on products, or is the manufacturer? You know what? The last couple of days I've been riding road past Chick-fil-A, and I see Chick-fil-A loaded around the parking lot. So, but if it was a shortage on chicken, why is Chick-fil-A so packed?
That's a good point. Ooh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
KFC, Popeyes. Didn't Popeye just come out with a new sandwich?
Yeah, they did. They said 50 million people. Well, I think they said over 50 million people over the last couple of days had to deal with tornadoes or something in the South. And so, like weather shortage. Weather, they said people ration off their gas. They got an article talking about, in Canada, hey man, if you want to kill yourself, we can help you have assisted suicide. I'm like, damn, these people are vicious. Ouch. But you know what? Like I said, we all kick out knowledge and things like that. I just want to thank all y'all for coming on, to expand the conversation. Look here, the hypocrisy got to end. Hypocrisy cannot stand on its own. And what I told you, they always call us conspiracy theorists, but they do not want to call us a liar, because if you keep on calling us a liar, I'm going to get your ass slammed in the damn court.
Right.
They're
deliberate. They're deliberate what they say. Very deliberate. They're slick. They're lawyers. Half of them are lawyers. Half of them guys in college.
And this election thing, and when they keep on talking about this election thing, they call it the big lie, right?
Yep.
But the big lie is a Nazi term. They will not tell you that. That was Hitler called the big lie. But let me say something. Could it have been, like Queen Dawson says, was Hitler telling some truth as well? I believe he was. Because just like they trying to get a social credit system going right now, these bastards were shutting down banks back then. They always did that. Now they want to do it again. But this time they want to tie it to a digital currency.
Just like back in the day, they used to say the Nazis had something called fatherland security, and we took that and rolled with it, and we named it ours Homeland Security. You see what I'm saying? They had what is the other one? They had the Enabling Act. We took it and had the Patriot Act. You see that?
Who is Alyssa Milano? Alyssa Milano.
That's that Italian actress.
Yeah, she came out and said I'm trading in my Tesla because Elon Musk
He was
hate speech or something.
He was a star of that comedy.
Then she says,
called, I forget the name of it.
Then Candace Owens tweets and says, well, if you want to get rid of Elon Musk because of Tesla, then you might well get rid of your Volkswagen because Volkswagen was founded by Nazis. Henry Ford, daggone, I mean, everybody got a Ford. I throw that daggone. Hey, if everybody got a Ford, they need to burn that Ford up and daggone put it in a daggone burning crusade or something because Henry Ford, guess what? Funded the Nazis. Okay. George Bush International Airport. Hello. The Bushes, guess what? They funded the Nazis. They were connected. I'm just saying. I mean, like, so we keep on talking about this. See, Bishop, they always say, how do you defeat the lie? You hurl truth at falsehood. And you got to keep hurling it and hurling it and hurling it.
That's right. You do.
That's all you got to do. I mean, look here. I'm just being honest. They say in the book, scripture, you resist the devil and he will flee from you. Well, if that's the case, I'm trying to have him running away like daggone a pack of damn hyenas. Get the hell away from me. All right? I don't need a scavenger. Matter of fact, a pack of ants running up the damn anthill or something. Daggone, you know, I was outside yesterday, man, and see 2 squirrels, and daggone trying to chat. You know, when I was a child, I used to try to catch some squirrels. Only thing I see now is a cat catch a squirrel. I know I can't catch a squirrel, but damn, you know, they try. This is all I'm saying, Bishop, and I'm gonna let y'all go. They trying to put us in the damn hen house. And when I say the hen house which does not let you use your free speech. That's what I mean. So, free speech, and we should have put a question on the ballot. Hey, look, you know what? We got a daggone mayor that daggone going to Europe to talk about fighting anti-Semitism right here in Richmond, Virginia. Yeah, our mayor in Richmond is going there. Yeah, but you know what? We should have put on the ballot. They said this year abortion was on the ballot, but we should have put on there, Frank, free speech is on the ballot.
Ooh. And see, that's what, and these politicians be wanting you to vote for them. They talk about voting this and that, and they don't never put initiatives and stuff like that really matter in incidences and things that we really care about and that we really want to pass. They don't never do that, and it's the same old.
But you say they do, but in the same token, the other group doesn't push it.
Oh, and they do it for them anyway.
Have the agenda. What have the Republicans done to rebuke anything you just said a minute ago that the Republicans, that the Democrats pushed the abortion issue? What did the Republicans push? They tried to push the economy and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't push it the same way the Democrats did. The Democrats, I'll say this about the Democrats: the Democrats are persistent, consistent, and they're unified. The Republicans are so weak-kneed, splintered, and they don't even know who their leader is, whether they want to be DeSantis, whether they want to be Trump, whether it be somebody else. You know, they have the golden opportunity to show them their mantle, but they refuse to do it. They have a golden opportunity, I still say, to really bring some of us into the fold, but they refuse to do it. They allow the lie, like Bernard was saying, they allow the lie to perpetuate itself. They allow the hypocrisy to perpetuate itself, and they never dispute it, nor do they refute it, nor do they challenge it.
What's today's date? The 3rd of December, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I said this today. The Biden administration plans to let the monkeypox state of emergency end in January. I don't know what's going on in January. I'm going to have to look up and do some research. But daggone, they won't even talk about monkeypox no more, but they still had it as a state of emergency after all this time. Now they're about to let it end. So, like I said, as a matter of fact, they don't even call it monkeypox no more. They call it M-pox now because they say that daggone monkeypox was stigmatized into
the monkeys.
Yeah, to the monkeys. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So Shaq, you're a monkey. I'm a monkey. He's a monkey, and that's a monkey.
Right.
Whatever. I didn't even give a damn about monkey. I just looked at it as some comical thing. It just didn't last long. But with that being said, I just want y'all brothers to give out y'all good information. We've been hitting it at 2 hours. Just like last night, I had to go for 2 hours. Let's hope they don't. Well, like I said, I ain't played that many lives today on the thing because I ain't want them to copyright. But that's the price I gotta pay. Hey, look, man. They telling me I'm a bad boy. I put this information out. They say I'm a bad boy. They wanna tag me. Hey, Frank, man. They done got me like 6 times this year, man. Dang, on the beginning of the year, I couldn't even get on for like 30 days.
They tagged you one time when I was on your show.
They tagged me one time when I was on Christmas last year. Yeah, I remember Christmas last year. They got me. Got me. Yeah, with everybody Mr. Miles on. And I was like, dang, y'all don't. I thought y'all had holiday spirit, but obviously I don't. And we talk about a lot of good things, but and I got to talk about when Chak and me do our next podcast, and Frank and anybody that want to join, we're gonna talk about this organ harvest and things like that. A couple things, people having kidney failure and this, that, and third. I got to do a show on that because there's a lot of things going on. More dialysis shops open up in black neighborhoods. So they got one down the street. Matter of fact, I got one behind there on a coffee shop. And you got women there. You got a Walgreens right here, dialysis right here, and a coffee shop right there, and a bar right there. So,
what did I tell you?
Since you can't get back on the February 2nd for a copyright strike. Well, you can always come on this platform and we can talk about it. But yeah, y'all go shout out the information. So we can get this. It's always been fun.
We'll talk. This is Bishop. We'll talk with the G-Man every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. The call-in number 563-999-3705 every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. Real Talk with the G-Man. You can catch me at Facebook, Gerald Scott, Instagram at Gman057, Twitter at Bishop GW Scott, TikTok at Gerald Scott 1951. I'm everywhere. Thank you.
Great,
thanks for the
Man, good looking out again. Once again, man, for having me on the platform. You know what I mean? Y'all can follow me, hit me up at XX Frank Nitty XX on YouTube, Frank Jones 8115 on Instagram. Or really, you know what I'm saying? And tap in, man. Some good information. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing.
All right, Frank. Chak. Go ahead. Yeah. All right. Well, let me go myself. I just see King BJ Johnson, Bernard 1120 on Instagram, outside 1919 BJ Cash App. We can do that, and we can also say 1987 BJ on Twitter. I gotta get back on Twitter like I need to because a lot of things going on Twitter, man. They should be unblocking all my accounts right now. And I think it's Bernard 1120 on Instagram, Bernard Johnson Facebook. It's interesting. We got this really. It's gonna be really fun. I'm loving this new wave of so-called free speech, as they say. So, but it is what it is.
Good night, everyone.
All right, Bishop.
Take your time. Let me say something. I'm gonna have to try to remember Chak's information. Clee Smooth 81 and Clee Smooth $9 Chak 1981. Facebook Secures Edwards, I think. Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
And it's Chak. I don't know yet, buddy, but yeah, it's all good. But Frank, although don't forget, I gotta run out, but I might be able to get on your podcast later. If I go on Door Eyes podcast later, Frank, I'll send you the link.
Okay, cool.
Hopefully tonight they don't strike down this one because I was a little bit more tactful. But hey, man, it is what it is. That's how they do. They don't like us, but hey, I love us, and guess what? We got to keep on getting this information out. So y'all take your time.
All right, peace.
Gotcha.